My apologies. I am a little late getting started today. Put up my board. Okay, we're a few minutes to 6. I will wait a few minutes after to just give everybody a chance to log on. Please make sure that you put your full name, email, and office in the chat. And yes, you have to do it again, even if you were here last night and you did that, okay? I appreciate the help. And I will be back in a moment. Okay, we're at 6 o'clock. We have people still logging in. So we're going to give them another minute or two, and then I will get started. Oh, I don't know how that happened.
Me
Somehow I saw
either.
mine. Sorry
It's
about
a
that.
pencil.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry.
It's all right. No worries. No worries. All right. So just a reminder again, please try to put your name and your email and your office in. And let me close out this whiteboard. Okay, so everybody can see the new whiteboard, I hope. Little housekeeping rules. I need you all to mute yourself because noise in the background is distracting. And anybody who was in my class last night knows already that if I lose my focus, it takes me a minute to kind of get back to what I was doing. All right. If you have any questions, just unmute yourself and shout out, because to watch the chat again is another distracting thing for me. So I don't pay attention to what's going in the chat. All right. So if you need to talk to me, I need you to unmute yourselves and just give me a shout out. Okay. All right. So I see a lot of familiar names from last night. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. I see a couple of new names. The training that I did last night was recorded, as is this one is being recorded. I have already posted it on my YouTube site, and I did send everybody from last night a link. Everybody from tonight will get a link again, and this recording hopefully will be up by the morning. I did not realize last night that very long recordings take a really long time to upload to YouTube. So I ended up sitting here till about 10:30, and then I just was like, forget it. I'll send you guys the email in the morning. So you will get an email from me tomorrow morning with the link again to the YouTube site, so you can revisit the video at any time. And there are other training videos out there on different subjects, so feel free to go through the playlist and watch anything that you would like to. And I forgot to turn my video on. I apologize. Here I am. Okay. The video won't stay on long because looking at myself talking is very distracting. And I like to stay as focused as I can. All right. So the agenda for tonight is we'll do a quick review of a few things from last night. So if you have any questions about anything we went over last night, you can ask me once we go live to the My Weichert site. Okay, we'll be creating or updating your listing presentation if you've already have one. There are some new slides that we want to make sure that you have in there. We're going to go over the EVPs, which is the focus of your dashboard. For some reason, the D disappeared. Okay, but EVPs are your emails, your valuations, and your property views. Okay, so we're always reaching out to people to get them to go to the website and do stuff. Well, now we have to make sure that we're taking a look and paying attention. We're gonna talk about 10 new contacts a day keeps your pipeline moving. And if we have the time, a couple of people had asked last night about this. We're going to make an introduction email and text message, a custom one that you can keep in the My Weichert and pull up whenever you need it to introduce yourself to somebody new. All right, so we're going to get ready to go. I'm going to share my screen. I don't know why, but my screen is always hiding. Okay. Let's get over to the platform. Okay, I am going dark. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. Just trying to move some stuff out of the way. Okay, all right, so last night we talked about what's under your name over here, how you have your email and your website connection. And then we went into my profile and we updated our contact information. Okay, homework for last night was you were to write your about me. Okay, so if you did do that, we'll take a minute now so that you can go ahead and upload it if you would like. I don't know how many people are doing hands-on, but if you are. All right, so to do that, you're just gonna go into your edit your profile. And you're gonna scroll down, and in the box of about me, if you have it on a Word document, you can copy and paste it. If not, you can go ahead and type it in. Does anybody have any questions from last night?
No, about this uploading the about me. I have another question, but no, is this specific?
Okay, well, you can ask me now and I'll let you know if I was gonna cover that in the next couple of minutes. Go ahead, Giovanna.
Okay, so I actually added a contact maybe a week ago. And however, today I asked her if she has been receiving what I've been sending to her. And she mentioned no, she did not. So,
Okay.
and another person also didn't get it. So I don't know if I actually added it correctly, or maybe I didn't click something for them to get access. I mean, for them to get all the emails in regards to listing.
Okay, so you did the emails through the My Weichert system?
Correct.
Okay, so I'll show you in a minute how you can check to see if they got your emails. But did you ask them if they checked their spam or their junk mail?
This particular person, yes, I did ask, and she didn't have anything.
Okay,
Then
all right, so
she actually asked me if she is going to come from me with my name, and I say yes.
yes,
The
absolutely.
only thing is adding the Weichert email. That's all.
Yeah, no, it's gonna, the emails always come from you. And up here in the profile, these email addresses that we talked about yesterday, that's what they're gonna see. So
Yeah.
if you have your Gmail in here or your Weichert.com email, that's what they're
Mhm.
gonna see at their end, absolutely.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, all right, and we will go over that in a second, Giovanna. I'll show you where to go and check and see if the emails went out, all right?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so after we have our about me in, we want to make sure we save that because we don't want to lose any work that we've done.
And I'm sorry, Patty, I have a question. It's Julianne from the Brick office. How are you?
I'm good, Juliana. Go ahead.
That's okay. Yeah, so I sent you a message in the chat yesterday and today. So if you can go through one more time after you add the contact, how do you set those alerts that Giovanna just said? How do
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really do alerts last night. Where we did it manually, we were talking about them as they come in from people visiting your website or from the open houses, but I can gladly show you that, okay?
Yeah, so just to be clear, so what I need to be able to do is, you know, how in Flex you add a contact and then say they're interested in Lions Head or whatever it is.
Yep.
So how would so I need to make sure, because it hasn't been working for me, how do I, you know, make sure that they get alerted when a new property comes in? That's what I need to know.
Okay, all right, so that all ties into what Giovanna was also asking. So
Yeah, like I said, I haven't been
I'll
able to do it
gladly
either.
show you that.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
We'll get there in a minute, I promise.
Thank you, Patty.
No problem. Okay, and the other thing we worked on was your signature. Okay, so these are the things that you know, you want to make sure you have set up, because not only do they help in the My Weichert system for your emailing or your texting and stuff, it also goes out into your website. So anything that you change in your profile here will change in all those other places, all right? So keep that in mind if you're thinking about, oh, I want to do this or that. It changes it everywhere. So this is like your hub. So everything you do in here ends up somewhere else in the system. All right, so let's go in Smart CRM. We were gonna go over again in now anyway, so we're gonna address the 2 questions. So in your Smart CRM, after you've added someone and like Giovanna did, she sent them some text and stuff, you can go into their contact sheet. Give it a minute to load, okay? And then you can go down in the timeline here in the middle. Okay, it always starts with today and goes backwards. So today is the 14th. So on the 13th, I sent out an email, which she actually did open. Okay, it shows me when she opened it last night. Okay, so you can go right down this thing and you can see whatever emails you sent, text messages. All right, so Giovanna, if you open up that person and you don't see a sent email here, then something went wrong when you went to send it.
Yes, I did. I don't see that send email. I see all the some yellow files, but no blue ones.
Okay,
Not sent.
okay, so if there's no blue on the side here, then when you went to send the email, something didn't go right. Okay, so they are not getting your emails. What they're telling you is the truth.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to, I don't know where you started the email, whether you did it from here or you did a mass email, or, but you're gonna have to go back and recreate the steps that you did before. Now,
okay.
you can talk with your MTS at the office, and they should be able to, if you can't get to the office, they still should be able to Zoom with you, where you can show them your screen and then they can help you figure out what went wrong.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Now
Thank
to
you so
address the
much.
other thing about adding alerts, okay? If you're adding alert for a certain person, you would open up their record like we did here. And then over on the right is the property alert section. So you can add an alert and it's gonna open a window. Now alert 1 is already set up, so we're gonna do alert 2. And I'm gonna show you how to set it up, all right? So in here goes the area, the county, the zip code, wherever they might be looking. Okay, so I'm gonna just put New Egypt. And see the little guy cycles through. He's having trouble finding it though. Oh, maybe because technically it's Plumstead. That's the municipality. There we go. So he found Plumstead. So I'm just gonna click on that and it's actually the township. All right, or I can go in and I can draw on the map if I would like. So you could open the map up and then you can draw the section. You can get in closer. Oh, wrong way. Okay, so you could get in closer and you could find the area that you specifically want to do. And then you can draw, draw the area, click the button, you get a plus sign and it will let you draw lines. Come on. This thing is in the way. Come on. See, and if you can move it and draw around. Why is it not drawing today? Okay, there we go. I had the wrong dot. So I can draw a map area here and say, this is where I want to focus on. This is where they want to live, especially when you have somebody who wants to live in a very specific development. You want to make sure that, you know, you map out those streets. All right, so once it's done, you just click the bottom and that's going to lock the map view in. Now you can go down and you can say, okay, what type of listing are they looking for? Is it an adult community? Okay, are they looking for a condo? Maybe they're looking for a townhome. Okay, you just scroll down the list and you highlight the ones that they want. So they're looking for single family, but if they have to, they'll move to a townhome. Okay, so it'll search both types of listings. Then you put in their price point range. So if they're looking for, you know, 350,000 and their max is 475. All right, you can put that in. And you see it adds the comma, so you don't have to worry about the dollar sign of the comma. It does that for you. You put in the number of bedrooms. So they're looking for more than 3. They definitely want 2 or more baths. The only thing I'm going to tell you about this is that the information you're going to ask the MLS to look for is only as good as the agent who put the information in the MLS. So some things are historically known to be left out. Agents don't always do the job that they're should be doing. So square footage might be an issue. All right. So if they said to you, you know, I don't want anything less than 2,000 square feet, well, you can put it in here. The problem is that if the agents who have homes at 2,000 or, you know, 2,500 square feet don't put that information in the MLS cannot connect that listing to you. So you have to be specific but vague. I know it sounds crazy, but only put in the things that are majorly important for your buyer. All right. Then down here, keywords. My recommendation is stick to really big things. Okay. I think this is the one that where we should, yeah, waterfront. If they want waterfront or they want water views, where they have to have a pool. Okay. Some of these that you know, you won't see it in the MLS. You can put in the garages and hopefully the person did their job, the number of stories. But when you get down in here into, you know, they want air conditioning or, you know, it's they want a basement and stuff. Again, only as good as the agent who put the information in. The next thing down is how often do you want them to get it? Now, in the market that we have been in for the last 2 years, you'd want them to get it ASAP. Because as soon as they get it, chances are somebody else is already looking at it. All right. But when the market goes back to normal, you could say, you know, I just want them to get it, you know, 1 time a day, send them everything that came out that day. All right. So as soon as a listing goes in the MLS that matches your criteria of price range, where it is, bedrooms and things like that, the MLS will send out a email, not the MLS, I'm sorry, the system will send out an email to the contact, and then a copy of that will be in their record sheet. Okay. So you're just going to go down, and then this email copy is not for you. You don't want to get a copy of every email they get. This is if it's like a husband and wife and they both want to get the information because they're both working during the day, but they want to see it. Then you would put the CC in here. Once it is set up and you have everything that you want, you're going to save it and send it. Okay, so the first one they're going to get, oh, the map didn't take. Of course it didn't. It's just the story of my life. See if we can do it this way. Where am I? Or Lazy Township. Set it.
Hey Patty, I'm sorry to bother you.
No, you're not bothering me.
Sorry, I think what I hit was, I think I clicked set alert instead of save and send. So if I did set alert, maybe that's why I didn't send it.
It could be, yes. Yeah, you
Yeah.
always want to send out the first one, and that's what I was trying to get to here when I got the error. When you hit save and send, it's going to send them one that's going to show them the last 6 listings that meet their criteria, up to 6, I'm sorry, from the last however many days. Okay, the MLS drives that. So hopefully when we hit the save and send, okay, so here's the only one, all right, that met the criteria that I had put in. All right, And the map got a little messed up, so this is a little out of the area, but
And
that
how did you get there to set it first? Do you have to have the contact highlighted? Can you back it up?
you
know,
have to have, yeah, up here is your person. We
Oh, okay. so
started
can
on
you
the
just-
sheet for the person,
beginning?
yes. And you can get there either from in the timeline, you can go over to the right and add an alert. Now I have 2 already, so it's not gonna let me add another one. All right, or you can go up across the top here and just go right to alerts. And what we set up today was alert 2. Oh, there they are. Okay, so there's the Lenoka Harbor homes. So it sent out an email with these 2 homes in it.
But how did you get it right in to start? You have to have the contact showing or no?
Yes. Yeah, you have to have the contact open. So in your smart CRM,
Yeah.
okay, you have to find the contact. Let me go in back into my
You can
training.
just back it up just so I can write the steps. Yes, smart CRM, go ahead.
Okay, and then you're gonna open the contact. So whoever you want to set the alert to, you're gonna open them up. You're gonna go over on the right-hand side.
Mhm.
Oh, this is not listed as a buyer. Sorry, hold on. My bad. Okay, so you're gonna go on the right-hand side there with an add button here, and you're gonna add the property alert, or you can go up here to alerts and just add it up here.
Okay, yeah, because I guess, I guess I was trying to do alerts to like, say, like an entire community, and I don't know, is that, so do I have to
You can
highlight?
send it,
people?
this alert was set up to do everybody in Asbury Park. That's a single family with 2 bedrooms, 2 baths in this price range.
No,
So
no,
you can set
no.
you can set the alert to be whatever you want it to be. If you want it to be just a community, you could type in the adult community if that's what you're focused on.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is that I wanted to, so I filtered out a community, I did a farm, and then I wanted to email everybody on that farm the update. So how would I do that?
Okay, that's a whole different thing, and you need to meet with your MTS for that.
Oh,
I'm not covering that tonight in this
Okay.
class.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, only because it's a little bit time consuming. And because you're trying to do it to a whole farm, you actually have to set up a report first and then put them on the alert.
Yeah,
So-
I did. I have them saved.
Okay, but then they have to be put on an alert. So you have to do that with your MTS at the office or ask her to Zoom with you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Sorry.
You're
Mhm.
welcome.
Patty, I have
Okay.
another question related to this sending email. When we actually set it up, a client, buyer, or either a seller, no, well, most of the time a buyer. So they get the emails, they open out the emails, and then you can actually see that they actually view certain listings.
Yes,
Are
here, let me
are
show
we
you.
able, are we able to,
You're gonna see it on their sheet.
correct?
Okay, so when you
Good.
send out, hang on, just let me get back in, because I don't think I just said it. I didn't send, did I? Da, da, da. Email results. So we're gonna email that. I'm just making sure that, and it shows up on her card, my test person. All right, let's refresh. Okay, so this should be, yep, here it is. Okay, so here's the one that I set up the alert and it sent out this email to the person. And this is what it looks like. Okay, so it says we have new properties and it puts the person's name in. And then it says, look, we found 2 properties that match your criteria. So they can see the 2 properties. So if they call you and say, oh my gosh, I got your email, I love the one property, you need to, if you're on your phone, you can go in through your app on your phone or come into your computer and just look at what got emailed to them. And then you can have a conversation. What I tell agents is if somebody calls you and you're not at your computer and they say, oh my God, I love that property that you just sent me, you say to them, okay, let me see if I can set up an appointment, and then, have that call be done, then go and look up what you sent them. So you can always call back and say, oh, well, gee, I sent you two, which one did you like? And that way, then you know which one in particular they were interested in. Most of the time, the emails that go out only have one new listing in it lately. Okay, listings have been
She has to wait for her approval letter, so I don't even know why she's sending her properties.
I'm sorry,
That
can you
property,
mute,
like,
please?
Houses out of the. And exactly, because she's going off of what it says
Sorry, hang on
when
a
she
sec.
puts it into a calculator. That it's out of her price range, but you don't know that girl's rate. You don't know what she was approved for. You don't know nothing.
Okay, sorry about that. Some people don't listen to my housekeeping tips. Okay, so back where I was, training. Okay, so these emails are going to go out on a regular basis as soon as a listing hits the MLS that meets the criteria. So they may get one a day, they may get one a week. Okay, because it's only when it's new in the MLS. So the one that we sent that she had the two in was because the MLS is going to pull anything that was recent, which it did, and it only found two that matched the criteria. So, and they're still listings. Okay, lots of listings go under contract like within a day sometimes. So it's only if it's a active listing. The system sends out the notice, okay, and they get it, but they may not get another one for, a week or so. It's all depends on what goes in the MLS. So years ago, as an agent, you sat in the MLS every day looking for your buyer and looking and looking. Well, this takes all that out off of your plate. It's going to notify your buyer as soon as a house hits the market that matches the criteria that you set up. All right. And sometimes the reason why we have two is because people sometimes are looking in two different areas that are kind of like next door to each other. So you can send them separate alerts. When you're done with an alert, because you don't want to send them there anymore, you just turn it off and it doesn't go anymore. You can always edit it if they have issues and they want you to, narrow the search or whatever. All right. Does all of that make sense?
Absolutely. The only thing that I can add it is like this particular person has also, besides the send email, it says view, like maybe he actually went to check and see the particular house that he got. So, and then it have two things there that we can email or we can text. And I guess we can email by asking this particular buyer if he would like to set up an appointment or something like that?
Actually, no, the email that you do through the system is only to your contact. If they like a property, you can email him and say, what did you think about those properties? Would you like me to make an appointment? Yes, absolutely. And you would just do that by sending an email from the contact. That's what you meant, right?
Yes, and actually
Okay.
I click that and it appears, oh, okay, this is very cool.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. So you can send it right from here. Also, down here again, don't forget, you can see when they open the email. Okay,
Correct.
this one we just sent out is not open yet.
Right.
All right, but the one I sent out last night was opened and viewed. So if you come in here and you know that he's been getting these emails and he's not opening them, then maybe what you need to do is make the phone call and say, Charlie, I've been sending you some emails. What do you think of those houses? Don't tell him that you saw that it wasn't open, but give
Absolutely.
yourself that opportunity to call them. And then if he says, oh, I didn't get your emails, you can always come in and say, oh, that's funny. I sent you one on the 14th at about 6:30 in the evening. Are you sure you didn't get it? Because a lot of times people, they say, I didn't see your email, or they're deleting so much garbage email that sometimes the important one gets deleted. I know I've done that 100 times, So if you see they're not opening them, definitely follow up with a phone call.
Yes, and the person that I mentioned to you before, I just checked in and it says that the email was not viewed yet. So I got in.
Okay.
And
Okay,
checked
yeah,
with
so
her,
he
but
hasn't looked yet, yeah.
right,
So I
appreciate it.
would
Thank
give
you.
him another day and then make a phone call.
Absolutely, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, moving right along. So now we're gonna talk about,
Excuse me, just before you go, I have only one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's Myra. When you set up the alert, if you want it to be sent as soon as it hits the MLS, you put it as a SAP?
ASAP, yes.
Okay.
And that means that if a listing hits the MLS at 10 o'clock in the morning, your client's gonna get it within minutes. If
Okay.
another one hits at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they're gonna get another email that day.
All right.
That's what ASAP means, that as soon as it hits the MLS, it's going out. So if
Perfect.
somebody does, you know, if somebody does it at 10 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock in the morning, they're gonna get the email,
Okay.
okay? All right, so, okay, so moving right along, we're gonna talk now about, updating your listing presentation. All right, so down, we need to go in the Weicker Tools. Okay, and from here, right here in projects, you can see is your listing presentation, your leave behind, and other things that you can use for the seller. Okay, now this is all about the seller. So the first thing that you need to do, it's gonna take a minute to open, is you always start with create. Don't open a previous one and change it. Always start with a new one. Anything that we lock in as a master page is gonna be in the new one. So we're gonna open it up and we have to put our person in. And the address of the listing. Now, if they don't live at the listing and it's a vacation home, it's still the address that you wanna list. It's not their physical address. And then we put in the zip code. And then if it's multi-towns, the towns will come up underneath and you can just click on the appropriate town. Because a lot of times one zip code covers more than just one location. All right, and then when that's in, you just hit the next button. And we're gonna add the photo. So when they call you, all right, and they say, oh, I want you to come over Saturday, the first thing you're gonna do is go over to their house and take a picture of the front of the house. It doesn't have to be anything beautiful. It just needs to be the front of their house, all right? So then that picture is gonna get added here. Okay, and once the picture comes in, I want you to always remember to hit this little button here that says default image. Because what this does is it gives the computer instructions on where to put this picture. If you don't put the default in, you'll have to manually add the picture on every page it needs to be in. So this saves you tons of time. All right, and then we're gonna go on to next. Now, the first time you do this, it does take a little while, but once you've got your master set, you can go in, you're gonna create it, you're gonna put all the new information in, add the new picture, and basically you'll be done within like 10 minutes at the most. All right, so we're gonna go in the listing presentation. And now this can be printed out. We have 14 by 17 paper at the office. So you can print it out and put it into a binder and take it to the house and show it. You can show it as a PDF on your computer screen. You can put it into a PowerPoint and show it that way. Okay, so there's different ways to do it. Now, if you do decide to print it, you only have to print the whole thing once. And then you would just print the 7 customized pages and change them out in your binder, okay? So to look at all the pages, this is the arrangement of the pages currently, okay? So you can see there's a lot of pages in here. All right, so we're gonna go over and we're gonna take a look from our edit here. Okay, so now my first page here, I make sure that this is the correct name and that this is the correct address. And you see how my picture came in automatically. Anything with an orange box means you can change the picture. Anything with a blue box says you can change the text. Okay, so Peter's not Peter, he's actually Pete, so I need to fix that. I don't want that to be messed up. Okay, so now it says Pete and I'm set, all right? Anytime you make a change on a page, you always want to hit the save button. And then over here in the mini, you can see that it's whatever change you made was saved. All right, so you can use the arrows at the bottom here to look at the next pages. Okay, so we have an orange box here, so we could change this picture if we wanted to. And we do that by going down into the photo gallery. We do a lot of scrolling in here. So we do a lot of up and down, okay? But you can scroll through here and maybe you wanna do this picture of a kitchen rather than the people walking in the house, okay? So you can change it out to whatever you would like it to be. All right, I tell all my new agents, don't change anything. Once you know how you're gonna do business, then you come in and you customize it even more to yourself. But all of the dialogue in here and all of the photos have been put in by marketing, corporate marketing, and they, you know, have years and years of experience. They know basically what they're doing. All right. So text here, you could change if you wanted to. The box opens and you can go in and you can edit from here. Every time you hit the X, it just automatically saves it to here, but you always have to hit the button to save the page. Now, if you make a change like this and you want it to be permanent, after you save it, you're going to go down to page options and you're going to update this master page. If you did something and you don't like it, you can go down here and restore it back to the page that you had before. Okay, so it makes everything very easy to make changes when you'd like to. This one,
I got a question, Patty.
yeah, go ahead, bye.
So the pictures that are going to be in this part are not going to be of the inside of the house. Only the outside of the house picture will be accurate.
Correct, unless you are doing a two-step. Okay, if you're doing a two-step, then the first step is you're taking the booklet that says getting to know you and your home, and you're going to visit the house. Okay, and you're going to walk through and get all the details that are in the booklet that you need to put in accurate information into the MLS, you know, and things that you need to know. All right, so your focus when they're talking to you is on them in the house, and they're going to say, well, what do you think it's worth? What is your commission? I understand that commissions are changeable. You just keep saying to them, well, I need to know about your house before we can talk about all that. I will, when I come back, we'll go over all those questions. Okay, so if you do that and there is something in the house and they say, oh, we just remodeled this kitchen 3 years ago, isn't it gorgeous? And so you would take pictures of that kitchen because then we can add it in here and we can show them that we were paying attention. It's all about getting them to trust you to list their home and sell it. All right.
Okay.
So you can do that if you do a two-step. If you're not going to do the two-step, it is not my recommendation that you go knock on the door and say, can I take some pictures?
Right.
I would not do that. I would just take the front of the house and then the presentation takes care of everything that they're going to want to know.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so now this one is Mr. Weichert and all about the company history. He started in 1969 with one office and now he is worldwide. Okay, now you can see there's no orange and there's no blue. You're not making any changes on this page. Corporate makes the changes when it feels it needs to, and it updates it and puts it in, and it'll be there for you. You don't have to worry about it. All right, this next page coming up, this is where you would put the extra photos if you had taken them of the house. Okay, so you would come down here and over here to the left, you can just go ahead and add a photo. Okay, so you go into your computer, you pick the one about the dining room that, you know, they talked about their dining room for a good half hour. So you want to make sure that you highlight that for them. In here, you can put, you know, lovely family dining or formal. You could do formal dining room, great for entertaining. Nobody's going to see this but the person that you're going to meet, the seller. So you could put in, and you can, you know, put whatever you want as your comment. Okay, so it allows you to do that twice. You can have two different pictures in here. All right, but if you're not going to do the two-step, we're gonna not use this page, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. But if you do put pictures in again, just make sure you save it. All right, coming up next is this is about the team and the marketing and stuff. This is the extensive one. So you would be putting in here besides yourself, your manager, your processor, your MTS, your mortgage people, your insurance person, your title. Okay, this is if you want to really show all of the support that you get in selling their house. All right, but we have a smaller version that most people use, and that's this one. So in here is me, and underneath that it needs my title. So again, it's a blue box, so I can type in it. All right, and then the next one should be like your manager, okay? And I'm bad because I don't know my manager's name. I think this is my Bluebell office, and I haven't really had much conversation with her, but all right, so her name would go in here. Noelle, I think isn't that terrible? I email these people all the time, but I don't keep their information in my head. All right, but her name would go in here, and then underneath would go broker / manager. Okay, that's what the managers are known as. All right, in here might be my mortgage advisor. Now this was when I was working on something in the Marlboro office. So Malvina is the mortgage advisor there. But my pictures have changed because my offices have changed again. So we're just gonna put in there. Okay, and then over here you can put in your closing advisor. That's your title person, and you would put their picture in, their full name, and then their title. Okay, these people are people that you should know. You're an agent in the office. You should know who your broker is. You should know who your mortgage advisor is, and you should know who handles the closings. You want to know these people because when your buyer is working with our mortgage company, you want to make sure that you know who you're handing them over to and that you're comfortable doing that. And then when it comes to going to the closing, your closing advisor is the person who's going to make sure that title cleared, checks have been cut, and that everything is ready to close on time. All right. So whoever these people may be in your office, that's who you're going to want on the sheet. Once you've put them in once, you're going to save it. And then you're going to go down and you're going to update your master. And now the next time you open it up, you don't have to do this page. It's already done. So you're just going to skip right by it. Okay, now this is, remember the default? You can see the front of the house comes into these boxes. That's why we hit that default, so we don't have to do any of this work. We just make sure the pictures came in and we move on.
I
All
have a
right,
quick
again,
question.
go ahead.
I'm on the new landscape presentation. Did you go into edit your pages first? Is that how you got to this
Yes,
part?
ma'am. Yep,
Okay.
the upper left-hand corner is a blue button that says edit your pages, and that's where
Okay.
we started. Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, this is another one that comes out of corporate, so there are no changes that you're gonna make on this. Okay, oh, well, this is out of order. Sorry, I'm always teaching so many classes. Sometimes my stuff is not right. We're gonna skip that for a minute because that's kind of the end of the presentation. I don't know how he got moved up there. Again, this is one that talks about, we're going to, show their home in the best possible light. And then this is about the pictures. Amateurs take pictures, but look at how much better it looks when a professional takes it. And again, up here, this is stuff that I would not change until I know how I'm gonna do business. And then maybe I'm gonna add or change a few things in here. But in the beginning, what you get taught from Weichert University, what your manager works with, and what I work with is the things that have proven history of working and being successful. Okay, so when you're a new person, just let it go with what it is. Make sure that you've read it and understand what you're going to be speaking about. And there is dialogue that your broker can give you that goes along with this. So there's dialogue for like each page. All right, so make sure you talk to your broker about that ahead of time. You don't want to be rushing and somebody says, oh, come Saturday, and you're nowhere near prepared. You know, be prepared ahead of time, understand what the presentation is and how you want to present it to them. Okay, the next one again is about Weichert strategy, how people go. We get over 1 million people searching on the Weichert.com. Okay, we're out on social media everywhere. So their home is being presented in the best possible light always.
Patty, I have
Paul.
a question.
Go ahead.
I think I missed something, but okay, so all this online marketing, are we able to copy and paste to like our Facebook page or our personal?
No, not in the
No?
presentation. The presentation stays generic. Okay. It is your representation of what you and the company are going to do for them. Once they sign with you, then you're going to share with them all your Facebook stuff so that they can go and look and see that their listing is up and stuff like that. But when you're doing the presentation to get the listing, no, we keep everything pretty benign and generic. And they do that for a reason, because part of it being that they don't want people to go and look at your Facebook and stuff ahead of time, and maybe you haven't had any activity lately, you know, if you're you haven't had any business or any, you don't want to discourage them, you know, and so they avoid that. Even if you've had a lot of stuff, they kind of want them to focus on you and what you can do for them, and not about all the things in the background that you do. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right, so the Welcome Center, this one is great for sharing with the sellers, because when you call our 800 number, if you happen to be out on Weichert.com looking at homes, you call our 800 number during normal business hours, somebody answers the phone. And in this day and age, that's almost like a miracle. There is no automation at the Welcome Center. Somebody answers the phone, they ask, you know, they listen to what they are talking about. If it's your listing that they're talking about, that person transfers the call to yourself. Okay, so you need to make sure that you're answering the phone. And I'm sure that, or maybe not, you should talk to your broker about what phone, the lead network, what phone number they use, because that should be programmed into your cell phone. So you should have it in there, you know, as Weichert lead. So when your phone rings and it says Weichert lead, you're picking it up right away, because that's them calling you with somebody who's looking at your listing. Okay, so that this is great for the seller, because you can say to them, nobody will know your listing better than me. So that's why the center will call me first. And God forbid I'm not able to take the call, they're going to call somebody in my office who's also going to be very familiar with your listing. Okay, so it's a great extra that we give to them to make sure that all buyers are being captured. Okay, now this one is about the local marketing. Okay, this is the sign, the postcards that we send out, all the things that we do. So you have to make sure that your full name shows in here. If you can't see the end of your name, then you need to go in and shrink it down a little bit. And some people have longer names than others. And so in order to make it appear on the sign, you just hit the minus button, it changes the points, and then it shows up on the sign differently. Underneath that should be your cell number. Okay, and if you have done your profile, like we talked about last night, your picture is going to be everywhere. Okay, because you uploaded your picture in the system, and the system just keeps connecting it to everywhere it belongs. All right, under here, this is the postcard that we send out, the just listed postcards. So your name will be in here. The little box underneath should be your title. Okay, and again, the X closes it and saves it into where you wanted it. All right, once you have all your information in here, you're going to want to go up and save it. And then again, you're going to update your master, because this picture is always going to change. Even when you update your master, it's always going to be that default picture from the very beginning of the program. Okay, coming up next is your Weichert Workforce Mobility, which is our relocation company. Okay, now we work with Fortune 500 companies all over the world. Okay, so we have a pool of buyers that no other company has. All right, because they have signed contracts with Weichert to move their employees through our company. So for the seller, this is wonderful, because we have a pool of buyers that nobody else does. Okay, it just reinforces how our company does so much more for them. Okay, so now this is the about the open house. So this little sign here, again, your photo will come in. You have to make sure your name is in here and you can see the whole thing. And I can see the Sloan, and then my phone number, I can see the end of it. So I know I'm okay. All right. So, and if it's not in there, you add it, hit the X, and what do? We save and update our master. Okay, that's going to make our life easier each time we open this up. Okay, so this one, your name should fit in here. There's nothing else that you have to worry about. If you don't like this picture with the balloons, you can switch it out if you'd like. Okay, I personally like this one. In here are all different things. Again, if you're new to the business, try not to change anything. If you have your own way of doing business, then you can add to this, of course, without any issue. You just click and add to it, okay? Next up. Again, this is another one from directly from corporate, so we can't make any changes, but it talks about how we have the mortgage advisor, the insurance, the title, you know, the home protection plan that we offer for people. Okay, so working together with all of these companies when you're selling a house or buying a house, everything hopefully goes smoother and it simplifies the process. Okay, now this sheet on this side, okay, is the mortgage sheet. Okay, so if you're doing an open house, you should go into the system and have the mortgage guy make you one of these flyers. You see how everything in here has no numbers? Well, the official one that you get printed will tell people, you know, what their rates would be, their monthly payments. Because sometimes a person, especially at an open house, isn't real sure what the price of the house is. And they come in and they hear it and they think, oh, it might be out of our price range. But this little display here might help them see that they could afford it if they did a certain type of mortgage. All right. So for the seller, this is great because it lets buyers know that maybe you're not priced out of this. You know, maybe this is a house you can afford. We give you different options in our mortgage. Okay. These pictures can be switched out. Again, there are lots of generics down here. You know, you could do this one. It's just a matter of click and go. You don't have to drag it. Okay, you just click on the picture that you want in there. And then you just click on the box you want it in. Okay, and again, any changes you make, save and update your master. All right, next up is our price trend analysis, which in the last year and a half was basically a useless tool because people could ask whatever they wanted for their home. But as the market starts to normalize, this is how we determine what the listing price of your home should be. We don't just focus on what's going on today. We look at the past and we look at what we see is going to happen in the future. All right, so that's what this page is all about. Now this page is about you, okay? So up in here is your name. Your title should be underneath there. Ah, shoot. There it is. Okay. All right. And then over here, it could be the same as your About Me from your website. So you could go in here and copy and paste it in. Okay. If at this point you want to do more like a resume type of display that kind of tells them, you know, what you did in the past and stuff, you can do that too. Whatever you want to put in here, you're going to put in here. Okay. I tell everybody, do your About Me, because when they go to look at your website to find their house, they're going to see the same information. And the more consistent we are, the more that they see that we do what we say. All right. After you put it in, you're going to save and update your master. This is my favorite one. I've been doing this for 21 years and I love this page. It used to have a little red, yellow brick road behind it. We used to call it the Candyland map. This really tells them what goes on the whole time that you're gonna sell their home. And in here, there's a place where it says that you send the papers to the lawyer. At that point, some agencies don't have any contact with their client again until the closing table. That's not how Weichert works. We kind of work hand in hand with you through the whole thing. Okay, so when you get to the closing table, I've probably just talked to you last week. All right, so it's all about helping them to understand what they're going to go through and how you're going to help them get there. Obviously, we're all about the closing table. That's when we get paid. Okay, now this one is your pledge to them, and these are the things that you're telling them that you're going to do. All right, your faith will come in automatically. You don't have to change it. Once you decide that maybe there's other things that you want to add to this, you can go in and add to it. All right, this is the Jumpstart program, and it basically says what's going to happen as we go through all this stuff. All right, so it tells them about the for sale sign. It tells them about how we in the community of Weichert itself, we have ways to get the information out there so that referral agents can help with that. Okay, the Wyker Workforce Mobility. Sorry, been a long day. Okay, and it just talks about all the things you're gonna do. This picture up here obviously is the starting gate. There is another picture in the gallery that I personally like better, and that's this one with the start button. But if you're you know, if you're a jogger and that kind of stuff, the other one is more your style, but you can change the picture out if you'd like. All right, and then see, oh, I was I was showing somebody something. I get that out of there. Okay, this one here is about how we do more than just be experts in the community. This is about any community service you might do. This is an optional page. You do not have to have it in your presentation. If you're new to the company, you know, and you haven't really done anything in your community, I would guess that within a year or so, you're going to have done so many things with your office, because we do so many fundraisers and you know, food bank, we help the food banks, and we collect coats in the winter. You know, these are all things that you can add into here and just show people that, you know, we do more than just know about the community. We're part of the community, and these things that we do, we meet more people who are potential buyers. Okay, that makes sense. I hope so. All right. Okay, this is just another version of you being the specialist. If you prefer this one, you can put pictures up here of, you know, yourself. If you're a boater, you can put, you know, a picture of the ocean or a lake or something. You can put your personality traits in here. And then down in here, you can put your information. Okay, so this is an optional page that you can use if you would like. And you see it's new, so we haven't had it for very long in the presentation. The next one coming up, this is all of the companies that Wake Forest, it's gonna be my stumble all night. The Workforce Mobility does. Most of my agents don't put it in the presentation because the print is really small, even in there, but it is in the leave behind that you're going to give them. So at their leisure, they can read the list of companies that we work with. And there are impressive names in here. All right. And that, again, an optional page that you don't have to put in. Okay, this is a shorter version of my team support where you just put yourself, the manager, and maybe the mortgage advisor. Okay, so as you can see, it can be customized to work the way that you want it to. Now, if you're going to have a heavy social media presence and you're going to do more than just Facebook, if you're going to tweet and you're going to do Instagram and you're going to do LinkedIn or Pinterest, okay, then you would add this into your presentation. If you're going to be basically a Facebook person who's going to get the word out that way, you are you're already covered in all of the slides that we did before. Okay, but this is if you want to say to them, you know, I do all this other stuff myself, you know, so I want you to know that you're going to have this great social media presence. Okay, this was for the virtual open house, which we were doing a lot of the last year and a half. Right now, I don't think we're doing this. We're really trying to do, you know, the physical open house so that buyers can walk through. But you know, if you get the feeling that this person might be a little leery about people going through their house, you could add this into to let them know that, you know, we have other ways to do business. Okay, this is the about me. No, this is telling them all about the technology that we have. Okay, that's you know, it's available to you as an agent, and it does a lot of work for you to get their home out there. Okay, and that everything is connected from the minute we do the open house. It takes over and it helps connect with buyers who would be interested in their home. Okay, and this is a we can sell your home from anywhere. You know, we have the tools available so that, no matter what is going on in the world, we can get your listing out there to people and we can sell your home for you. And like I said, you guys have to kind of come in, look at all this stuff, read about it, talk to your broker about the dialogue that goes with it. Oh, sorry. Okay, this is our new guarantee that is both for the buyer and the seller. So you can put this in your presentation and explain to the seller how, if we bring in the buyer and the buyer is working with Weichert, should anything happen and the closing doesn't go on time, both the buyer and the seller would get the $5,000 guarantee. And then this is for the, I can't find a house, why would I want to sell now? Reluctant seller, to kind of tell them there are other options out there, so you could sell now and move later. All right. And now, I don't know how many of you have gone through Accelerate, but I am sure that they cover this pretty intensely in there. The last page of the presentation, which came up earlier, there it is this. So at this point, if you feel that you're going to be so comfortable that you can just call them by their first name, you take the last name out. Okay, and if it's a husband and wife, it's gonna say "and" in here, because that's what you're gonna have put, you know, so you just say, thank you for inviting me in. Anybody new to Weichert, for years, our philosophy was invite us and we bring results. And we hung on to that, inviting us in. Okay, we don't barge into your home. We come because you asked us to. So thank you for asking me to come in and talk to you about selling your home. So this is always the last page. And I'll move it in a second so you'll see. So once you're all done with making your changes, you can go into arrange your pages. All right, now in here, there are buttons on each page. So if there's pages we're not going to use, we're just going to turn them off. Okay, if we don't have inside pictures, we're going to make sure that's off. All right, we're going to go through the whole thing. We're going to do our turning offs first. Okay, I'm not using this one. I'm using the other one. I'm using the other one on this. Okay, I am going to do social media stuff. Definitely want to tell them about the guarantee. Definitely want to tell them about how automation helps us do things and that we can work from anywhere. And then that one. All right, so now they're kind of out of order.
Patty, I'm sorry, just what, it's Julie, I'm sorry.
No,
Can
no.
you just touch on the guarantee for the 5,000? Is that for both? Who are we
you-
guaranteeing?
The $5,000 guarantee has a lot of things attached to it. So you need to talk to your broker about how you should present that. But it was originally only for buyers. And if the buyer uses our mortgage company, our insurance, our title, and it doesn't close on time, then now both the buyer and the seller get a $5,000 check.
Really? If,
Yeah.
so I guess you're saying, in essence, if somebody from Weichert, I guess, is in default, they're paying out, both the seller and the
No,
buyer?
no, you have to talk to the broker about the details of that. Okay, that's part of the selling. I don't take care of the selling side. I do the marketing side.
Okay.
Okay, they'll be able to explain it to you in very good detail so that you'll understand exactly how that works. Okay, so once I've turned off the ones I'm not going to use, now I have a couple down here that are kind of out of sync and I need to move them. All right, so up at the top here is the little move button, and see now every slide has a arrow that will allow me to move it wherever I'd like to. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to pull up some of these that I want to make sure are in there. Okay, now that, where did you go? Okay, so this is about the social media. All right, so I want to make sure that it's kind of in the right position. So I'm probably gonna move it over here to behind my open house stuff, and then I'm gonna talk about how I'm going to promote their open house even more with my social media connections. Oh, my guy up here that's in the wrong space, I'm gonna move him down where he belongs in the bottom. Now, sometimes you have to put them, scroll down and move again. Unless you're really good at scrolling and moving the mouse button at the same time. Down, down, come on, one more down. Yeah, they're gonna make me move it again. All right. And then we're gonna move them one more time to the end. It's gonna be right here before the community. Okay. Did I get that right? Nope. Move this guy over here. Stop today. I'm telling you, my mouse has just not been cooperating today. Okay, so this one is off because I'm not sharing that. This one is off. So I'm going to move technology up, you know, and like I said, once you start doing the presentation and you get comfortable with a certain way, you can move these around to match however you're going to want to present. Okay, now let's see if I, please tell me he dropped in. My Wakerd. Okay. I'm just going to move him down because behind Wakerd Way, this is part of how we work. All right, so I want to put it in there. And now these two here, I might leave them at the end because I want to, you know, I want to reinforce everything else before I talk to them about the guarantee. And also, this is only pertinent if they're a little nervous about finding another house. All right, so once out, forgot this one. We can put this virtual up with our social media. Just to say that we have the capability to sell your home from anywhere. Once everything is in the position I like, I'm gonna come up here and save. Okay, now I did a lot of updating of my master in here, so I wanna make sure I save this whole thing again. And then I'm gonna update my master. I always wanna do layout and content, because just in case I typed in something, you know, if I just do layout, it's only gonna keep the way that I just arranged my slides. By adding content, it's gonna keep the information on the slide. So I'm always gonna wanna do that. So it's update your master, layout and content. Once I'm finished, I'm gonna create a PDF. And then the PDF can be downloaded and you can go to the office and print it out. Or like I said, you can show it as the PDF from your laptop or your tablet, or you can merge it into a PowerPoint and use the PowerPoint as the way to view it. Your job after you do this and you do your PDF is to just kind of take a look at it, review it, make sure everything is the way that you wanted it to be. If you have to make changes, you close the PDF and you go back into the program, make your changes, and then create a PDF again. Okay, so just bear with me a second. There we go. Okay, I know it was a lot. I'm sorry. It's hard sometimes to show all this stuff in such a big class. So we're going to just take a 2-minute break. Anybody who has not gone into the chat and put in their name and their office and their email, if you would do that for me, please, I would appreciate it. And I will be back in a moment. Okay, anybody got any questions? And I do see people entering. Thank you. I appreciate it. Remember, everything that I've been showing you, work with your MTS on. Okay, the listing presentation, like I said, it's a lot the first time around, but once you get it set up, it's simple and easy, and it shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes to get it done and printed again, for the property that you're going to look at. Ah, okay.
Patty, I have a question, but it's not related to what you just
That's
having a
okay. Go ahead.
presentation. Is that okay? Okay,
Yep.
so wonder if a customer can actually change by adding any other towns or cities that they want to look for, or we have to do it for them?
You have to do it for them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, they can go on your website and search whatever they'd like, but to get any kind of alerts or stuff, you have to do it for them. Okay, ready for the next part?
I'm ready.
Okay. Besides, oh, sorry, always something in the way. Besides the listing presentation from here, you can also do the leave behind, which is 8.5 by 11 pages that get bound together at the office with a nice cover and indexes. Okay, so you always make sure that you do that. You'll see here the pages are basically the same. I'm not going to go through them all. They are basically the same as the presentation. So like this one, you do have to go in and make sure that you put your broker and somebody else. If not, it's only going to show you on the page, and I'll show you that. Let me just. So if you decide that you only want you to be here or just you and your manager, that's fine. And then you can see the page. There it is. I can show you the one page. You'll see that it doesn't look weird, like there's not boxes on it that have no pictures in it or anything. So you can customize it to be just you and like I said, your broker, or you can even do just your broker and your mortgage advisor, because you're talking to them about them being on your team. Obviously, you're already on the team. All right, so there are different ways that you can do it. So you can see here that it doesn't look like there should have been something there. The only pages I want to talk to you about, these are not in the presentation, is showcasing your home. And then we have first impressions count. It just really is giving them instructions basically on how to get their home ready to show. All right, so these are not in the presentation itself, but the rest of the pages are just miniatures of what you've already talked to them about. Here's the mobility list. It'll be in there so they can look at it. Okay. Anything that you customized in the presentation, just make sure that you've done the same thing in here. Okay, and again, same process, save and update the master, and that'll lock it in for the next time. So the next time you come into it, you really shouldn't have to do anything but print it. Okay, once you've set up your master and everything is set the way that you want it to be, you shouldn't have to redo anything. And if you make changes, again, you're going to save everything and update your master. Now, in this case, you don't have to worry about the order, because you are going to definitely print it at the office in color, and it's going to go into the booklet with the and they're going to bind it for you. So when you're done with your presentation, whether they sign with you or not, you're going to leave them this really nice booklet showing them, you know, what you're going to do for them. The other things in here
I have
are,
a question.
go ahead.
Okay. I was doing it with you on my laptop. So I put an address under a name. So I wanted to change it, the address. So how can I change the address? Like,
Okay, so you can change the address. You go back up here, see where it says projects, and let me just move, I have my bar in the way. So it says projects here,
mhm.
okay? You could go back that way, or you can go, I think you can go right to the person's name, yes. Okay, so you can click on their name, and here's where you can go in and edit the address. So you can go in here and change the address to whatever you'd like.
Okay,
All right, and then
but,
once you've changed it, you're gonna hit next to make sure that it locks in. And then you can go ahead back into the presentation and continue.
Hey Patty?
Yes.
Can you, it's Julianne again, can you dupe somebody? Or can you dupe, I guess, can you copy him or no?
What do you mean copying?
Well, can you dupe him? Like say, he has, said the same guy, Peter, he's got another property to sell. So can you?
Oh,
dupe-
no, each time you have to recreate. Yeah, you can't duplicate it, but it's already duplicated. That's why we're talking about creating the master. Okay, the master is everything, and all you do when you put in the new information is
Yeah.
update the 7 customized pages. Everything else stays in there. As long as you save and update your master as you go, as you make changes to these pages, okay? When you open it up the next time, all you're gonna need is this information. The person's name, the photos, and then you hit this default and everything just plugs in where it belongs.
No, but I'm saying, what if Peter has 3 houses?
And you're
3
doing-
different properties. Yeah.
You're doing one presentation about 3 houses, just pick one. Just pick one to do your presentation. Okay, your presentation is about convincing them to let you list the home because you are an excellent agent with a strong company behind you.
Okay.
Oh, shoot, sorry, my bad, I hit the wrong button. Okay, the other thing that's kind of important is the business card. You can go in here, your photo will populate, the address will populate. Mr. Weichert, for all the years that I have been in this company, he's all about the wow and, wowing people. So imagine that you print out these cards, okay? And you go to the house and you're not handing them your business card, you're handing them a card with their house on it. Okay, so that's like the first wow. And they're like, wow, you already started working for me. Okay, so to do that, just make sure that you turn on here. If you're going to edit anything, make sure all this information in here is correct. Okay, if you do make changes in here, you can make changes if you need to. All right, save it and make sure you save and update the master. Okay, saving and updating the master is really important. And then you can create your PDF, save it to your laptop, go into the office and have them print it for you. Okay, this will download it right to your computer. And then they'll print it at the office and you'll have that card. If they list with you, you give them the other 9 cards to hand out to their friends and family. Okay, so after you get the listing, you can do water bottle wraps for your open house. You can create your property flyer from here. Okay, so those are also extra things. And this is why you want to do these presentations so that everything is linked together from the get-go. And eventually what you do in here will feed into the forms online. Okay, so everything kind of coordinates together. So any questions about this particular part of the training? All right.
Patty, I do have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if I wanted to use myself as an example, because I have another email address, so I should be able to try to do this and
Oh,
use
yeah,
my
you
own
do it as
information?
yourself. Absolutely.
Okay,
Take a picture of the front of your house.
okay, I did that.
Make your master as yourself. Absolutely.
Okay,
Okay, you don't have to have a pending appointment. Get your master done ahead of time. Get comfortable with it.
okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, and I'm sorry if I didn't say that in the beginning. I apologize, but normally, when I'm working with an agent one-on-one, we're always doing their address. Okay,
Okay.
so that's how you build your master. Do it that way. Put all the stuff in, put all the information, save, update your master pages, update the master at the end. So the next time when it's an actual presentation you're gonna do, you're gonna pop in, you're just gonna put in the information about the person, the photo, the address, and then the system's gonna take care of plugging everything in where it belongs.
Okay, and everything will be, since it's saved to the PDF, that's how we always have a copy of it.
No, well, you're gonna save a new PDF every time
Yeah.
you create one, yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
okay,
and then you'll
thank
have
you.
a copy of it on your computer, absolutely.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so now we're going back in our platform. And as we know, when we log in, we always end up on our dashboard. Our dashboard is like the most important place in the MyWiker, because everything that goes on that you do is going to show up in your dashboard. All right, so we talked about this a little bit yesterday. Down in here, you have what's gone on recently. Okay, so you can see that they visited your website. Okay, this is an email that came in a while ago. Sorry. Don't know why my mouse is just not cooperating. Okay, but also on your dashboard are some things up here. Okay, show notification. This is reminders for you of things that the system or you have told the system that you need to do. Okay, so these are can be phone calls, they can be tasks, okay, that you've assigned to yourself. All right, so when you see a large number up in here, something's not right. All right, so that means that the system might, if you see a huge number, the system was asking you to make phone calls and you weren't making them. Okay, so down here I can go to calls and I can see what calls it wanted me to make today. Okay, and again, these are just all test people in my system. Brent is actually an agent in another office. Okay, so if I was going to do what I'm supposed to do, I would actually go to do the call. Okay, and again, like I explained last night, it doesn't call without you. All right, so I've gone in here, I want to call this person. I'm going to say, okay, call them now. It's going to call my cell phone. It always misses its cue. Actually, my cell phone is, I turned it off today. So it's going to call my cell phone. Once I've answered it, then it's going to call my person. All right, this window opens, I talk to them, I put in a note here, you know, a nice conversation, or maybe, you know, they say something like, oh, my daughter's sick. So you put in daughter and feeling well, and then the next time you come in, that note will be there and it'll remind you. All right, and then you just say, yeah, I connected. Okay, now if you go to make a connection, all right, and the system goes to dial and you get any of those messages, you know, about a bad number, then you're gonna just hit the bad number here, and that will alert the system not to try to call that number again. All right, so those are just little things that you can do. So once you see how the number went down, once you take care of calls that are in here, or maybe you've gone and you didn't realize that you had to make the calls either from the app on your phone or through the system in order for them to get recorded, and you have a lot of them in the past due. Okay, so say you have them in here. I have to use this as the example. I don't have past dues. You can go in and just click it and ask them to delete it. And then those people will just go back in the rotation at another point in time. Okay, so the system pulls those calls like we talked about last night, 5 calls, it's creating 5 calls a day. And it's pulling it from my prospect, my new lead, and my active lead list. So that's how this number up here gets generated and why calls show up in here. All right, this button here, my business, I'm going to talk about that now a little bit. This is your pipeline. This is what's going on in your business today. So I have 94 people in my sphere and prospects. I have 3 new leads I got recently. Okay, so this is the beginning of my journey. Remember, we talked about the journey. All right, I have 5 active leads. So that means I am either talking with people to sell their home or I'm taking people out looking at homes. All right, if I only have 2 people, then I know that somebody is coded wrong and I need to go fix it. All right, I'm saying right now I have 2 clients. So I have a listing agreement signed or I have my buyer agreement signed. Okay, so I have 2 clients at the moment. I have 1 person under contract. Okay, so I only have 1 person under contract, and back here I don't have too much going on, so I might want to make sure that I'm reaching out again to these people because I want to kind of move them over here to active so that they become clients, and then I have more under contracts. Okay, now this close should be how many people I've closed. So if I'm new to the business, this number is going to be lower. And as I go through my year, it'll get higher and higher. If this number is not right, then somebody along here didn't get moved right. Okay, so you kind of can look at this and see what's going on. So I'm under contract here. That means money's coming, right? But I only have 2 more people behind them, you know, and if this is 2 listings, it could take months before I have you know, an under contract again. So I want to make sure that I'm still building up these people and reaching out to them and trying to turn them into active leads. All right, so you can see how your business is going very quickly right from here. All right, if I have a lot of people in here in new leads, I would probably want to go visit them and figure out how come they're still in the new lead. Okay, if they're not ready to go forward, then I might want to move them backwards. All right, but it just gives you the picture of your pipeline, what you've done, what's going to happen, and then what people that you need to kind of keep in touch with because you want to be the person that they call when they need a realtor. Does that make sense? All of that
has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Okay.
9 7 3 9 8 6 6 1 5 3 is not available. At the tone, please record your message.
Okay. Sorry about that. All right, so that's what that's about. How many people, I'm just gonna shut this off for 1 second because I kind of want to see if you could raise your hand. How many of you have finished your quick start training video? Okay. All right, so a couple of you have. That's great. The rest of you, I hope you've at least started it, and you know, you need to keep doing that. Now, Tom, you've done it. A lot of what I've told you tonight, you've already seen in that, correct? Okay. All right. So that's what it's just reinforcement of what you're learning. Okay. Practice makes perfect. So it's all about us teaching you, so you keep trying and it'll get easier and easier, I promise. All right. Your MTS is your go-to person for anything to do with the MyWeichert system and the marketing. your broker manager is your go-to person for anything to actually do with real estate, and your processor is your go-to person for paperwork and all of that. So you have 3 people on your team who are there just to help you to get going and you know, get your business up and running, so that maybe you only have 1 job instead of 2. All right. Okay, so now other things in here on the dashboard, we talked about evaluations and property views and new emails. Okay, so under all activity, you can always just pop into those. Valuations do not show up here, but you can see you have new text, new emails, and properties all show here. Okay. Valuations is when a person goes to your website, okay, and they ask what their home might possibly be worth. Let me pull up my website so you can see where they go to. Okay, so from social media, I put out a notice and I say, would you like to know what your property's worth? And the link pushes them to my website to this particular page. Okay, once they put their information in here, all right, they're going to hit next and it'll show them a quick estimate, and it also will email them a report. Once they've hit this button, that is when they're on your dashboard. Okay, so you get to see the address. Sometimes they don't give anything more than their email. Okay, but think about it, years ago, all we ever had was an address, and we had to go find the people old school. Okay, and you looked in the tax records, or maybe you did a search, you know, back in the beginning of the World Wide Web, you might have did a search to try to find them. Okay, but now we're asking them for their email. But you can see this one only gave me an email. This one here gave me an email and a cell phone, so I could actually call. All right, now anytime you have somebody in your valuation, you're going to want to call them, you know, within 24 hours. So that's why I can't stress enough about checking your dashboard all the time, because you don't want a person to go find somebody else. You want them, you captured them at your website. You want to be the person they work with. Okay, so this one came in, you can't call, there's no number, so you email and you say, you know, I saw you were at my website. Can I come in and do a CMA for you and give you a better, more accurate value of your home? Okay, we can talk about what you could possibly list it at. The thing about these valuations is usually if somebody goes and looks, there is a good chance that they want to sell their house and they're starting to see what the market is like. Okay, so you have to be the realtor. Okay, we can get you the leads, but then you have to be the realtor and you have to reach out and contact them. All right, so you always want to check this, especially right after you do like a seller squeeze page on your social media. Okay, because that's the one that drives people that click to that page on your website. Okay, the other thing in here, like we said, is you're going to look at property views. Now, these are people who have visited your website and they're looking around and they're kind of seeing what's available. Okay, they provided you with a name. All right, they registered at your website. So now you can email or call them. Looks like everybody here actually did put their cell in. All right, so when the pop-up came up, they gave all the information we need. So now it came in yesterday, so maybe I'm gonna make sure that I call them today and say, listen, I see you were at my website looking around. Is there anything that you'd like me to make an appointment for you to go see? You know, what, and then have your realtor conversation with them. All right. If they don't answer the phone, you can always shoot them a quick email, you know, saying, you know, can I make an appointment? Or there's actually an email out in the template that says, you know, I freed up some time this week. Would you like to come in and we can go look at some houses? Okay, so there's a lot of different email templates that you could use. All right, so you always want to be checking in here. Now, if you haven't been in here in a while, and you're looking at this screen, and 9 days ago, these people were looking at a listing that you posted, okay? Now, how do you make that phone call? You're still gonna make the phone call, okay? But you have to word it a little different, and you don't, and they might say to you, geez, that was a week ago I was looking. So you have to be prepared for the fact that now you've kind of waited a long time to get in touch with them. And I wouldn't be surprised in some cases if they said, oh, Mary at Century 21 is taking me out to see it, because we didn't respond fast enough. That's why looking at this every day is important. Okay, and they stay here forever. Okay, so at some point in time, if you're working with somebody, you can always go back and take a look at how many times and how many things they looked at on your site. I mean, you can see it's Amelia here, and this is the Asbury Park site. She's looked at a lot of different houses at the Asbury Park office.
I have a question for you.
Yep, go ahead.
So, I have, in this same area here, there's a couple people that have been here very consistently that don't really respond to anything that I've sent to them. But there is one person in particular who is constantly viewing the emails that I sent. She does not reply to any of them. She won't answer the phone when I call, doesn't return, any messages. What do I do with her? And I mean, this has been months. And I mean,
Okay.
she will view the same properties multiple times.
Okay, so this is somebody who obviously is looking to buy. There might be something that she likes that's out of her price range. I might give her information to the mortgage advisor and let them reach out and see if they can connect with her. Because then they can assess what her price point is she ready to buy, that kind of stuff. Again, real estate is when I need a realtor. So she may be looking, hoping that, this house is great. I can't believe it's still on the market. I really would like to buy it, but she's not ready yet to take that step. So she's going to be, rather than a new lead, she's going to be a prospect. She's going to be somebody that at some point is going to pull the trigger, and you want to be the person there when she does that. You want to be the face that she knows. So you're going to keep emailing her. If she's opening your emails, that's a plus. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying to myself. Like, okay, well, she's still viewing stuff. She's still looking at things. And not just the stuff that's auto generated. Like, she's looking at the emails that I send. I write her, emails right from myself. I don't use the what do they call them,
Right.
canned responses or whatever.
Yep.
And she's reading them. She just doesn't respond to anything.
Yeah, she's just not ready yet. And that
Yeah.
happens a lot in this business, especially with new buyers. They want to do it. They that this is what they want. They want their dream home, but right now isn't their time, but they're going to keep looking. If she's still on your website, and this is where your branding comes in, she's still looking at Tom. You know what I mean? So when she's ready, hopefully, and there's no guarantees in this life, she's going to call you and say, all right, Tom, now I'm ready. Okay, so it's like you have to keep in touch. You have to stay in front of her, because I promise you, the minute you stop, she'll be shopping somewhere else. So you want to always be sending her like a newsletter or whatever, and when she's ready, as long as she's been reading everything. Nobody reads emails like that who isn't interested in the product. Okay, so there's an interest there. I would not write her off.
Yeah, that's what I've asked a couple other people. That's the same thing they said, that
Yeah.
if she's not just looking at the houses that are being sent, because some people do that. They just like to house shop.
Yes.
She's actually opening the other emails as well.
And reading the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so there, you know, I would not write her off. I would just keep going. I tell people this story all the time. Lead Network sent a lead to one of my agents in Jackson when I was working there. 4 different agents in the office, they kept returning the lead and it would go to a different person, you know. This one agent, she kept in contact with the guy. It took 9 years, but he finally bought a $900,000 house. And she said to the other people in the office, because they were like, oh, I talked to him, well, you didn't work him, I worked him. She said, I waited all this time, you know, it's my commission. Yeah, you know, because people.
And I mean,
think one-
honestly, what's 5 minutes every couple days? You know what I mean? Just, you know,
Exactly.
either a text or a phone call, or even if it's once a week or whatever.
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
take
not
much.
usually that extreme that you wait, but in this case, it was for whatever reasons. I think somewhere along the line, he lost his job, so there wasn't gonna be any buying of a house. And, you know, but she just kept reaching out. She would send, back in those days, we didn't have as much electronics, you know, so she would send them a postcard now and again. She'd make a call just to remind him that, you know, she was watching out for him and stuff, you know, so it took a long time, but she made an amazing commission finally, you know, and she said it was worth it. It's 5 minutes of my time. Yeah.
Patty, I'm surprised he never got married.
Yeah,
It took him 9 years to buy a house, I can imagine.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, so those are the extreme stories, but the point is don't give up.
Yeah.
Because when they need you, you want to be the person still in their face.
Patty, I'm sorry, and where do you see that property views? How do you get there?
Property views them down in this section. It starts at all activity. Okay,
Oh,
so your button here is over to the left a little more. Mine is a little different because of my offices, but you're just going to pull down that menu and you can get to anything. And I'm not going to go to the email events because it's not going to open, but for yourselves, go to email events after you send out an email and you can see everybody that opened your email. And for new agents, I always find that extremely encouraging to them, you know, because people aren't getting back to them, but they're reading the emails. They're not saying, get out of my face, take me off your list. They're not doing that. So these are all good prospects for some point in the future, you know. So a lot of times people get discouraged because they're not getting any feedback. The person isn't responding to the email, or like I said, the response is negative, you know, but this lets you know that people are reading it. They're going to your website. They're just not ready yet to do the registration or to, you know, talk to you yet, you know, but they're not throwing you away either. And so that's what, you know, this is why this system is so good, because it lets you know, that your message is getting out there. You know, Nike's wasn't a overnight super sneaker company. It took time, you know, it took people getting the message. So you have to do the same thing. You have to brand your business. You have to get your message out there, you know. And when you do get a person, you want to make sure that when you're done, that they write you a testimonial, that they tell their friends about you, you know, they give you referrals and stuff like that. That's how you build your business. Okay.
It's funny, I'm looking at that and the emails that have been opened. I just changed part of my farm to this area that I live in, because I live in
Okay.
Millville. And the first 4 of them have my address on it, because I rent a house in Millville. I don't own a house, I rent it, and it just went up for sale. The owner is selling it. So
Okay.
I'm seeing my address. Like, oh, look,
Yeah,
well, these
because
people are
somebody's
looking
on
at
the
my house.
website looking at the sale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Which
Since
is
we,
one of the reasons why I'm taking this, because I need to really push more. I need to get some more money coming in so I can buy my own house.
I know, my daughter is going through the same thing. She's lived in the house 12 years. She's been renting it. And then all of a sudden in June, the landlord said, guess what? We're selling the house.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
she,
mine is,
you
he's
know,
getting ready for retirement, so he's starting to sell off a lot of his properties.
yeah, so
So-
she, you know, she makes good money, but not enough to buy in today's market. You know, so she's like, I don't know what to do, Mom. So she's going into a winter rental because we live down the shore for 6 months to give her some time to find something because
That's
everything
smart.
is insane right now. But yeah, we did a whole campaign about the right time to sell is right now, and obviously we convinced a lot of people of that because lots of landlords are selling. You know, that it's the market and there's not a lot we could do about it, you know. I feel bad for people caught in that situation. And it makes me feel guilty because I'm one of the people that's been training people to send out all these emails that say, sell your house now, there's never going to be a better time.
But you know, at the
Came
same
back to
time
bite
too,
me.
it's motivational. You
Yeah.
know, because I've been slowly looking myself and just not really putting too much fire into it, you know. And then when he let us know, it was just like, okay, time to turn up the dial.
Exactly,
know?
exactly. Well, good luck and I hope you find something that, you know, works for you. Since we talked for a second about after you have a client and testimonials, I'd like to just show you real quick if you don't mind, because we have just a couple of minutes left. On your website, and I thought I had my website open. Oh, I do, but it's on the other thing. Let me open it again. Okay, on your website, you actually have a page for testimonials. So people that you work with, you should be sending them to your page so they can tell their story. Okay, so they just put their name in and then they talk about, you know, that you helped or whatever. But these are great for building your business up because, you know, people are always looking at the reviews. You know, they look at the reviews and they want to know how many stars you got and stuff like that. So every person that comes here when you close and put the testimonial in is great. But then I had an idea and I thought, you know what? There are people in my family, there are people in my job who know me and know what kind of person I am. So I'm asking them to write a testimonial about how they think I would do business for them. And I'm hoping to get some more. I mean, this is one of my old bosses, okay? So the people don't have to know where the testimonial came from, you know, and hopefully it just says that, you know, you're a good person to work with or, you know, something good like that. But don't be afraid to ask people, I guess is my point. Just because you didn't do business with them doesn't mean they don't know you. And they could come here and write a story about you that somebody else might read and say, oh, wow, that's a really nice person. Or, you know, I can't believe that, you know, Peter does so much community work. That's wonderful. It's just stuff to keep you bonding with people who come to your website. So when you do that, and I'm gonna stress that you guys need to keep sending out emails to people, you know, asking for different things and just trying to get yourself out there. Your sphere of, you know, of influence is people that know you. Okay, so they're friends, their family. You want to always be saying to them, listen, if you know anybody, you know, don't be afraid to share my cell phone. I'm okay with that. You know, you have to keep reminding them that you're a realtor. And I can tell you hundreds of stories of realtors whose family went to somebody else because they forgot they were a realtor. You know, and then by the time that they say something, it's too late. They're already working with somebody else. So, you know, just keep thinking outside the box a little bit about how you can communicate with people and schedule those emails ahead of time. All right. And get, you know, just keep yourself out there. You've got to brand yourself. And the easiest way to do it is to come in here, set up, you know, schedule emails like we talked about last night, and just let them go out. And every day, just come in and check. Oh, did I get any new emails today? Let me see. Okay, and just come in and just keep checking. Okay, the reason why I want you to come here is sometimes emails don't get to our actual email, you know, there's always hiccups and stuff. So you want to always be checking. So if I see Ray here, hopefully on my phone, there's a message from Ray, you know, in my email. Okay. If not, though, I know he called, you know, he emailed me, so I can answer him right from here if I want to. All right. So you have to make sure that you're always reaching out. Stacy is one of my realtors that we actually share everything. I help her do things. That's why I can see her emails in here. But normally I can't see anybody's stuff. You know, this is just happens to be my Asbury Park office. So keep sending out the emails. We didn't get to it and I wanted to talk about it, but if you have not uploaded your cell phone yet, start putting 10 people a day from your cell phone into your contacts, okay? And then when you get up to, you know, say 30 people, so every 3 days, send a text to those people, okay? And just, you know, say hi. And I want to remind you, I'm in real estate. So if you know anybody, don't be afraid to, you know, put yourself out there a little bit. You're going to find that when you send out texts to your friends and family, the response is always good. And they're like, oh my God, I didn't know you were doing that. Or, oh, it's great to hear from you. I haven't heard from you. You know, it gives you that opportunity to reconnect, to connect, you know, again, and to let them know that you're here to help them or anybody they know. All right. Does that
Question.
go ahead?
I'm looking on my website page and I don't have that tab for testimonials. How did you?
Well, you won't,
get to
yeah,
that?
you won't have it yet till you get one.
But I mean, where is the thing, the part where it's,
Oh, so you don't,
Like,
okay, hold on. a
yeah, I
second.
don't even have, it's under,
I
I have
got you.
resources, but it's empty.
We
Okay.
won't see that when we view it as ourselves though, right? That's when somebody else goes to our site, right?
Right, but it's not there yet, and that's my bad. In here, in your web IDX, there's the testimonial here. Okay, you actually have to go in and put the first one in and turn it on.
Okay,
Once you
Okay.
turn it on, then and everybody else can go right into your site and do it. But that first
Okay.
one, and I forgot, the first one, you always have to come in here. You're
What
just
was
gonna
that
add the
on?
testimonial. Okay, you're gonna put down who wrote it. Peter's my brother, by the way. So I tend to use him a lot too. Okay, and he writes a testimonial. All right, and then you add it. Once you add it, then you can put the stars in. And I'm gonna tell you, ethically, be honest, if somebody, you know, puts a comment in that's a little not perfect, make your stars not perfect. Okay, but otherwise you make your stars. This button is on. So now when I go to my website, you'll see 2 testimonials, I hope. Okay, but that first one triggers this page. So the first one you always get from somebody, you have to make sure that you add it yourself. All right, but it's a great thing, like I said, to talk to your family and friends about, hey, would you guys go in and just write something nice about me? And get yourself onto the testimonial page, and then always ask every buddy you close with, as soon as you close, okay, say, hey, listen, when you get a second, go to my website. In the closed campaign, which reaches out to people and says, oh, it's been 30 days, how's everything going? There'll be one in there that says, oh, if you haven't done the testimonial yet, could you go to my website and do it? And then every time that somebody does something on your website, you want to tell everybody else, hey, there's new stuff on my website, go take a look. All right, that's how you brand yourselves. Okay, is you keep putting yourself out there. You keep telling the people in your Facebook, hey, listen, visit my website. Okay, or on your business page, you tell all the people on your personal page, hey, listen, go check out my Facebook business page. Okay, it's just that old adage of you tell two people, they tell two people, they tell two people, before you know it, 100 people know about you. All right, so you have to keep putting yourself out there a little bit. But the system does so much automation for you as a dual career person. You can come in, spend one night, get everything set up, and just wait for the responses.
I have something to say. Like
Go ahead.
I couldn't find the add testimonial button.
It's in Web IDX. And then you go into the web content, and you'll see it over on the right. There'll be the testimonial section.
It's on my webpage.
Yeah, it's on My Wyker.
My writer.
Yeah, hang on. I think I might have shut my page. I do that sometimes. Nope, there we go. Okay. So on My Wyker, over here is the Web IDX. You go in the website content,
Okay.
and that's going to take you to this page. Hang on, let me just, and
It
then
says-
you can see testimonial.
It says your connection is not private. What does that mean?
I'm sorry, it says what?
Your connection is not private.
That's got to do with your internet connection.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know why you would be getting that. But if you go into the website and you go into site content, you'll see the testimonial, and then you can add it here. And like I said, once you add the first one, then the rest of them can go right to your site and put it in themselves.
Okay.
All right, you guys, I'm gonna send you an email later, giving you the link with this recording on it. Corporate has asked me to maybe follow up with you guys next week. So I'll figure out what night, and I'll send you all an email, and then you can come back and tell me how you're doing. And if you have questions, I'll be able to help you. But remember, you have an MTS, you should have an MTS in your office. And they're the best to do one-on-one, hands-on with you. All right. All right. So you guys have a great night, and have a great weekend, and watch for my emails. Okay.
Yes, of
Thank
course.
you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Thank
you're
you so much.
welcome.
Good night.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Tatiana.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patty.
Oh, you're welcome, Tatiana. I didn't even see you. How are you?
I'm great. I'm very good. I'm so
Good.
happy you did this. This was amazing, and I wish more people joined. I blasted it out to 3 offices.
Yeah.
I can't believe that, we didn't really have a lot. I had about 7 from them.
Yeah.
And-
No.
And mind you, it's 24, so.
Yeah,
great
no, you
group.
did, your office did good. You want to feel bad. I sent it out to my 8 offices, and I think I had 2 people.
Oh.
So, it's just the way it is. But I was talking to Heather and Gabby today. So we were talking about maybe just next week doing a real quick hour and let people come back in and kind of say how they're doing and stuff.
Yeah, I'm on vacation next week, but this was amazing. And they're
Thank you.
silly for not joining because they've been begging and asking for this. And, now that they have it, and I even said it in email, now you have that opportunity. You better jump on, and speaking of following up, I have a girl who sent out an email